If she finds out, it's going to be a big problem. She holds grudges for a long time when she gets angry. But don't worry, she won't wake up for a while. I added something to her dinner cocktail, so she should be fine. I couldn't hide my shock at his words. After all, my younger sister, Meg, is here with us. Why on our honeymoon? I tampered with her drink at dinner, so I think we should be okay. I see, so that's the reason for this headache. To think that the two of them would deceive me and plot something behind my back. Just wait and see. I won't let this slide. As Meg said earlier, I am quick to anger and tend to hold grudges. I'll get back at them, and it will be thorough. My name is Polly Ingalls. Though soon, I'll be starting a new life as Polly Cosby. At 30 years old, I've had fulfilling days doing the job I love since becoming a working adult. I thought I might get married later, but then I was suddenly proposed with an arranged marriage. The match was introduced by my boss. He's Tom Cosby, a man 2 years older than me. He's the only son of a major company executive who's rumored to take over the company in the future. When my parents heard about this arrangement, they were thrilled. Usually, they don't show much concern about me and barely keep in touch. But the moment they learned of this, they started contacting me frequently. Giving in to my parents' pressure, I invited Tom Cosby to our home. Of course, my parents welcomed him with open arms. But there was one person with a displeased expression. That was Meg, my younger sister, 2 years younger than me. From a young age, Meg had a habit of setting her sights on things I owned. Whether it was birthday gifts, clothes, or even boyfriends at times. I'm not sure about Meg's specific preferences. But she seems to be deeply interested in the men I date. She always finds a way to get close to them and eventually takes them away. On this day, Meg introduced herself with a particularly flashy attire and makeup. Nice to meet you, Tom. I'm Meg. I sighed inwardly, thinking, not this again. However, we were already engaged. I believed it wouldn't be the same as before. His parents, who had never seen him with a girlfriend, were overjoyed that Tom finally found a fiancé and warmly welcomed me. We first got legally married and moved to a residence recommended by his parents. It was more than enough space for newlyweds. We decided to have a grand wedding ceremony and honeymoon simultaneously after work slowed down. Though preparation time was short, an extravagant reception was planned. But on the day of the important reception, what on earth are you wearing? It's fine, right? Hey, Tom, don't I look good? Unbelievably, Meg wore a pure white dress. White is reserved for brides at weddings. Did she knowingly do this? However, Tom had an unexpected reaction. That dress looks great on you. It really suits your slim figure. Right. Look, even you're complimenting me. Didn't Polly choose a dress in yellow and salmon pink? It's great she got to choose her favorite color. I'm good with this one. It's lovely. Actually, Meg chose this corsage very seriously for Polly's wedding. Mother added as if it was a matter of course. Indeed, Meg and Mother exchanged knowing looks. Well, it's a special day with a wedding and all. Let's enjoy it. I wonder who he thinks is responsible for all this. During the reception, as I expected, Meg's white dress attracted a lot of attention. I noticed some guests whispering and pointing in her direction. And I couldn't help but notice Tom's gaze frequently shifting towards Meg. That night, we stayed at the hotel where the wedding took place. And the next day, we were scheduled to depart for our honeymoon in Tahiti. At our destination, we had booked a week-long tour with a local guide. The next morning, we hurried to the airport. During the journey, I noticed Tom frequently using his smartphone. Because we were in a rush, I brushed it off, assuming it was work-related. We managed to board our scheduled flight and arrived at our destination a few hours later. We were also able to arrive on time at the restaurant of the hotel we were looking forward to. We had some unexpected events, but it was fun. Cheers. He proposed a toast with a smile. Cheers. Oh, this cocktail is really delicious. Is it to your liking? That's great. Yes, it's amazing. I'm glad. I've been quite busy recently, so let's eat a lot and relax. We enjoyed dinner while chatting about this and that, and I savored my cocktail. Then it happened. Oops. I spilled some sauce on my clothes. I made a mess. I'll go wash it off. On my way to the restroom, I caught a glimpse of a familiar silhouette from the corner of my eye. Meg. No, that can't be. There's no way Meg would follow me here. I decided it must be my imagination. When I came back, the figure was nowhere to be seen. I calmed myself down, thinking it must have been a figment of my imagination. Sorry to keep you waiting. Are you okay? A new cocktail arrived, they said it's recommended. Really? Sure enough, a cocktail of a different color was placed on the table compared to the one before. Sorry, it took a bit longer. Don't worry about it. I didn't tell him about the person I thought looked like Meg. When we got back to our room, I was suddenly overcome with fatigue. Perhaps from the wedding or the long flight. Going to sleep already? Sorry, I'm feeling really sleepy. It's okay. I'll go for a short walk. As soon as I heard that, I jumped into bed and fell asleep immediately. I wondered how much time had passed. I was awakened by the sound of the door. Thinking it was Tom coming back, I tried to get up. But I had a splitting headache and struggled to rise. Could I have caught a cold at such a time? Just as I was thinking this and about to go back to sleep. Hey, are you really okay? No problem. There was a voice other than Tom's in the room. Moreover, the voice was a woman's. It'll be a big problem if she finds out. She holds grudges for a long time when she's mad. Huh? The voice, saying, older sister. Isn't that Meg? So, the silhouette I saw earlier was Meg after all. Don't worry. She won't wake up for a while. I spiked her dinner cocktail, so she'll be fine. Oh, Tom, you're such a villain. Well, since we're here, let's make the most of it. I regret marrying her instead of you, to be honest. I feel the same way. So let's have a baby before my sister does. After that, only the sound of a cloth dropping echoed in the room. This terrible headache must have been due to the drug he used. Come to think of it, the cocktails had been replaced a few times. He must have tampered with it when I was away from my seat. The more I thought about it, the angrier I became at the two of them getting intimate on the bed next to me. I'll never forgive these two. Wrapped in the futon, I discreetly grabbed my phone. I wanted to gather evidence, but capturing video would be too challenging. I decided to at least record their voices. To avoid Meg noticing I was awake, I stayed still under the covers. After a while, it seemed they were satisfied and headed to the bathroom. I took the chance to photograph the messy room and the state of the bed. Then got back under the blanket. The two soon emerged from the bathroom, picking up their scattered clothes. They seemed to be in a hurry. So, what's the plan for today? I wanted to play more in the bath. Well, Polly has booked a sightseeing tour. We need to leave at a specific time because it's a guided tour. Otherwise, we can't visit the tourist spots. Oh, so the guide will think we're newlyweds? That's exciting. Exactly. It'll be fun, Meg. Our plan for today. We were supposed to tour many sightseeing spots from the morning by taxi. That would mean we'd return in the evening. I remember the tour included watching the sunset. Okay, I've decided. After waiting for the two to leave, I quickly got up once I heard the room door shut. The headache had lessened as I grew more disgusted with the two. The sunlight coming through the window still felt like morning. I quickly grabbed my phone and booked the earliest flight to New York. I closed my suitcase, which I hadn't unpacked. Then I noticed his passport on the table in front of me. With a smirk, I slipped it into my handbag. I managed to board a flight in the afternoon and arrived at New York. My phone was flooded with missed calls and messages. Hesitantly, I returned his call. "Hey, Polly. Where are you? What are you doing?" His loud scream startled me, making me pull the phone away from my ear. "Your suitcase is gone. The front desk said you left alone." "Is that true? What are you thinking?" "Sorry. I'm at the airport now. I remembered some urgent work." "Are you still there?" "Of course. The tour lasts a week. I'll enjoy it by myself." "By yourself?" "All right, enjoy." After ending the call, I thought about my next steps. The following week went by in a flash. I thought it was about time when my smartphone rang incessantly. At first, I ignored it, but after some time, I decided to answer. "Hello, what is it?" "Hey, Polly, I can't find my passport." "Have you seen it?" "Your passport?" "I don't know about it. This is a problem. I can't remember where I put it." "How would I know that?" "Try to remember where you last saw it. If you can't find it, why not get it reissued?" "Are you sure you haven't seen it?" "Why are you blaming me?" "Manage your things yourself." Tom was lost for words. Of course, I brought the passport back here. But I can't answer all of his questions honestly. I'm not lying either. Why not get it reissued? "If you do the procedure correctly, you can come back." "Right, I'll go and get the reissue process started." I don't have time to talk with him for long. I'm very busy right now. If he chooses to get a travel document instead of reissuing, he should return sooner than planned. Before that, I had a ton of things to do. After about 10 days, I received a message from Tom. "I've got my passport reissued, I'm coming home." I assumed Meg kept him all this time, it was obvious. What did Meg tell her family about coming on the honeymoon? When I called to check, her parents were clearly flustered. And then, on Tom's day of return. While waiting at home, I overheard a conversation after hearing the door unlock. "Hey, are you really sure about this?" Suddenly coming to my sister's new house. "Don't worry. She's a workaholic, she must be working hard at her office right now." "Wait, what are these shoes?" In the entranceway, there were more shoes than two people could possibly have. Tom seemed to realize something was off. That's when. "Welcome home." I greeted the two with a smile. "Eh? Polly. Why? Weren't you at work today?" Sis. Why are you here?" "I never said I had work." "I did say I was busy though. I've been waiting for both of you. Come in. We've been waiting too. Hurry up and come in." Dad. "And Mom, why are you here?" Following them were my in-laws. Meg was surprised and looked at the shoes lined up at the entrance. "Don't tell me, sis. You noticed. Our parents are here too." Saying that, I led the two to the living room where everyone waited. Why are so many people gathered? It wasn't just our parents in the living room. Why is the section manager here? "Mr. Ingalls, why have you been absent from work for so long without notice?" "The Cosby, why didn't you apply for an extension of your leave? You could have at least contacted us." Yes, their immediate bosses were also there. "I can't believe neither of you even contacted your workplaces." It really surprised me. "Actually, my phone broke." "Really?" "He accidentally dropped it in the ocean." "Is that so? You seem to know a lot about it. Don't tell me you two went to the beach together?" I smiled as I looked at the two of them. "Polly, what are you talking about? It sounds like you're doubting your sister." "Exactly as Dad said, I'm doubting Meg. Today, we've gathered here to unveil the truth, right? That's right. The man with many documents handed over his business card to Tom, Meg, and their parents, indicating that he is a lawyer. Wait, lawyer? What are you talking about? I have been given 2 assignments. One is from Miss Polly for consultation regarding a divorce. The other is from Mr. Cosby regarding a renunciation of inheritance for his son. Renunciation of inheritance? What are you talking about? Tom's gaze shifted between me, the lawyer, and his in-laws. In the meantime, Meg asked in a hurried manner. Wait. Lawyer, does that mean Tom won't be able to become the CEO? CEO? Are you joking? The father-in-law laughed heartily and told them to sit down. He then proceeded with a disappointed expression. Becoming a CEO is nothing more than a dream. Someone who behaves so irresponsibly should leave our company. Do you understand, young lady? Why is this happening? Isn't it obvious? You enjoyed a vacation with your newlywed sister's husband. Who would think someone acting so recklessly could lead a company? Wait, isn't a CEO just someone who sits in an office? Are you serious? I can't believe you're Polly's sister. What? Are you calling me stupid? Mom, Dad, do something. Mr. Cosby, isn't that a bit harsh? So you're going to defend the sister trying to steal her own sister's husband? Well, actually, maybe Polly and Meg could switch if... Bang. The sound of the father-in-law hitting the table echoed. And now I see. This young lady's lack of common sense comes from the way you raised her. Meanwhile, the mother-in-law beckoned me over with a hand gesture. What's wrong with me? My sister always gets the good deals. It's not fair. That's why I overlooked Tom being older. I just wanted to be the CEO's wife. Meg, you called me old. CEO's wife? You seriously thought you could become that? There was never a guarantee that Tom would become CEO in the first place. But Tom said that being a CEO is just a title, and that others do all the work while he just sits. I see. I can't leave my company to someone with that mindset. Having a steady woman like Polly was the key. Leaving Polly alone, or not? The father-in-law then signaled to me with his eyes. I nodded and played the recording from that day. The 2 of them were in shock. You were supposed to be asleep. More importantly, what did you mix into my cocktail that day? When I woke up, I had a terrible headache. It was eye drops. I read about it in a novel. What have you done? I can't believe it. As he said that, the father-in-law let out a deep sigh. Dad, what are you planning to do with me? Honestly, I'd like to cut ties with someone like you right away. But if I did, it could damage our company's reputation. I'll transfer you to a branch office in the countryside. Wait a minute, you're joking, right? After saying that, Tom clung to Meg. Meg, you're going to be with me, right? You said so, didn't you? Huh? What are you talking about? I just thought you, being the CEO's son, were too good for my sister. I don't need an old man like you. I'll give you back to my sister. I don't need him. I placed the already filled out divorce papers in front of them. What is this? I have no intention of signing. We acknowledge this. What are you saying, Dad? I thought you'd change a bit after marrying Polly. What on earth happened to you? But Meg seduced me. What are you saying? Why didn't you refuse her right then? With a snap, the mother-in-law scolded her son. Polly, I'm truly sorry. Because of this foolish son, your family register has been tainted. It's okay, it was a good experience. I guess I'm better off living alone with my work. Polly. Are you leaving me? What do you mean leaving? I coldly laughed. It's a fact that Tom fell for Meg's temptations. Ever since we were young, she's always been envious and took away what was mine. That's why I don't need someone who's just a second choice. Polly, you don't have to go that far. One more thing. I looked at my parents and raised my voice firmly. From now on, I won't have anything to do with you both. And for the matter of our divorce, I'll make sure Meg gives me some of her assets. Polly, saying such things to your own parents. I'm just taking back everything Meg has taken from me. Once that's done, our relationship is over. I stated decisively. When I get angry, I don't forget for a long time. Isn't that right, Meg? After that, Tom was transferred from the main office to a branch in the countryside. Apparently, he was made to use his mother-in-law's maiden name. Of course, his salary was significantly cut, and on top of that, I was informed by my in-laws that his assets for me would be deducted. His new workplace was not an environment where he could relax in a cafe during breaks. It was a drab industrial area, and there was no place to get coffee other than vending machines. Part-time female worker, oh Tom, if you want coffee, we can make it for you. The part-time female worker working as a clerk said with a smile. There hadn't been a young person in this office for a while. So Tom's transfer seemed to be a refreshing and fun change for them. On the other hand, from the field workers, he was yelled at every day with remarks like, "Your instructions are off," and "These numbers are wrong." He apparently sends emails almost daily to his in-laws, pouring out his grievances. Tom sent me emails with content that almost made me laugh. Like, "I want your forgiveness, it was a momentary mistake. I want our parents to intervene, and I still can't forget about you." But for some reason, he never called. Probably to avoid being confronted directly. As for Meg, it seems she lost her job due to her extended, unauthorized absences and this recent incident. She hasn't been able to find a new job and appears to be cooped up in her parents' home. Every day, she confronts her parents, asking, "Why didn't you stop me?" I also received blame from Meg. "Even though you're my elder sister, why did you let this happen to me?" I proved that he was no good, right? You should be grateful. This is all because of me. Reconsider the compensation. My parents also frequently begged me over the phone and through emails. If possible, please reconsider the compensation for Meg. You're her older sister, please help her. Why are you so stubborn? With that kind of attitude, won't your next marriage be difficult too? That's the gist of it. Of course, I saved all of their messages. I consulted a lawyer with these messages and managed to get a restraining order. I'm feeling on top of the world right now. Later, I decided to switch jobs to the company run by my former father-in-law. It wasn't at the main office where Tom used to work, but a new branch. I've always admired Polly's passion and talent for her work. I want you to exert your strengths as a core member of our new branch for our company. My father-in-law highly values my skills and recommended me for a significant role. He felt that my previous workplace wasn't utilizing my skills enough. Thanks to that, work is very busy, but I'm grateful for these fulfilling and enjoyable days. On my days off, I sit around a table filled with delicious dishes made by my former mother-in-law. Although your relationship with Tom ended, I've always hoped you'd remain our daughter. Actually, I always wanted a daughter. Polly, would you consider being adopted by us? My real parents always prioritized my younger sister over me, no matter the circumstance. So, this offer from my mother-in-law felt heartwarming. I'm still considering her proposal. But if I accept the adoption, I'm certain more enjoyable days await me than those I've experienced in the past.